Hold on.
Bank
Hold on.
angle. Bank angle.
Hold on.
Bank angle.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Polat. 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 Polat.